Hello everyone, this is F Recap, and today we'll dive into the plot of the grim 2017 horror film, The Night Eats the World. Sam arrives at the apartment of his ex-girlfriend Fanny and walks into a noisy party. He's only there to retrieve his music tapes, which she accidentally took. She hadn't warned Sam about the chaos awaiting him. Mathieu, Fanny's new boyfriend, approaches and takes her away, leaving Sam awkwardly waiting on the couch. He feels completely ignored by his ex, who is busy socializing with her friends. When Sam grows tired of waiting, he pulls Fanny out of the crowd, finds out the tapes are in the office, and heads there. This clearly annoys Mathieu. On his way, Sam bumps into a partygoer who accidentally injures his nose. In the office, Sam finds the tapes, but his nose starts bleeding. He sits in a chair to stop the bleeding and ends up falling asleep. Screams echo from behind the closed door, but Sam sleeps soundly. When he wakes up the next morning, he grabs the box of tapes and prepares to leave, only to be shocked by the sight. The apartment is in total chaos, with blood smeared across the floors and walls. On the staircase, he spots Fanny and calls out to her, but she turns towards him with a disfigured face and lunges at him. Sam manages to slam the door shut and locks himself inside the large apartment. Through the window, he sees a blood-covered man attacking people in the building across the street. A family tries to escape in a car, but is overwhelmed by a swarm of zombies. Realizing the streets are deadly, Sam decides to stay in the apartment. While searching through the guests' belongings, he listens to their voice messages and learns that all of Paris has fallen to a zombie apocalypse. Sam climbs to the roof to take in the devastation. The city is in chaos, with destruction everywhere. Back in the apartment, he decides to clean up the place. Suddenly, he hears a loud bang from below. Looking through a hole in the floor, he sees an elderly neighbor who has just taken his own life with a gun. Sam enlarges the hole using a metal pipe and climbs down. He notices a body covered with a sheet and realizes the old man had killed his infected wife before ending his own life. Taking the old man's rifle, Sam ventures to the ground floor. He spots several slow-moving zombies, quickly bolts the door, and enters an unlocked apartment. There, Sam devours a can of food while zombies futilely try to break through the bars on the window. He collects knives and supplies to help him survive. He finds keys to all the apartments from the concierge's office and decides to explore. In one room, a zombie attacks him, followed by its infected family. Luckily, Sam escapes, locks the door, and marks it with a cross. In another apartment, Sam finds a drum kit and decides to bring it up to his place using the elevator. However, inside the elevator, he encounters a starving zombie. Not wanting to kill it, Sam ties the elevator doors shut with a belt and leaves. That evening, he nostalgically listens to old audio recordings through his headphones. The next morning, Sam looks out the window but sees nothing of interest, aside from a dozen infected wandering the streets. Realizing he'll be stuck there for a long time, he carefully rations his food into small portions to avoid starving. To lift his spirits, he plays music and drums on the kit. However, the noise attracts a horde of zombies to the building. A month passes, but nothing changes. The rotting bodies outside produce a terrible stench. Sam initially considers throwing the old couple's corpses off the balcony, but hesitates. Instead, he places them in sleeping bags and conducts a sort of burial ritual in one of the far apartments, sealing it off from the rest of the building. Overcome by loneliness and despair, Sam begins to lose his sanity. He has nightmares where the infected break in and kill him. To distract himself, Sam starts exercising and tries to push away dark thoughts. He even attempts to talk to the zombie in the elevator, naming it Alfred. Sam's favorite pastime becomes shooting at the infected on the street with a paintball gun. One day, he spots a normal cat. Excited, he rushes downstairs and tries to lure the animal with a can of food, but the cat runs away. Risking his life, Sam chases the cat, hiding behind cars and trying to stay quiet. Just as a zombie notices him, Sam leaps into a car for safety. He sprints back to the building and slams the door shut just as the monsters close in. From the window, Sam sees the cat rubbing against a zombie's legs. Looking at himself afterward, Sam notices blood on his clothes and fears he might have been bitten by the infected. Spotting deep scratches on his leg, he loads the gun, unwilling to turn into a zombie. Yet he hesitates to pull the trigger and falls asleep in this position. A gunshot rings out, but fortunately, the bullet hits the wall. When Sam wakes up, He is overjoyed to realize he's still human. As winter arrives, the temperature drops significantly, both outside and in the building. One day, Sam notices there are no infected outside. Curious, he steps into the street, but quickly retreats to the safety of the building, unable to venture farther. Sam plays the drum kit again, this time to see if the infected can still hear him. A horde of zombies rushes to the building as Sam beats the drums with increasing intensity. Looking out the window, he screams in anger as hundreds of zombies futilely claw at the building. One night, Sam hears a strange noise at the door and shoots without thinking. Approaching the door, he sees through the resulting hole that he accidentally shot a woman who groans in pain. Sam brings the injured woman into a room and lays her on the bed, where she loses consciousness. Horrified by what he's done, Sam tries to extract the buckshot from her abdomen with tweezers, but panics and leaves the room. In the morning, Sam is surprised to see how quickly the woman has recovered. She introduces herself as Sarah and tells him she has seen other survivors, men and women hiding in various buildings. Sarah explains that she's been using climbing gear to move from rooftop to rooftop, evading the infected. Sam is overjoyed. His endless loneliness has finally come to an end. However, Sarah is horrified when she sees the zombie in the elevator. Sam tries to calm her, explaining that it's his silent friend, Alfred. The two keep themselves entertained as best as they can, composing music and playing it on household items. But soon, their food supplies run out. Sam drills a hole into the apartment of the zombie family and shoots all three infected with his rifle. After gathering supplies, he returns to find that Sarah is gone. Panicked, Sam runs to the roof and finds his somber companion. Sarah insists that their only chance of survival is to jump to the neighboring building, as the horde of infected around their current one isn't dispersing. Sam, terrified by the seemingly impossible jump, insists they stay. Furious, Sarah declares that he'll lose his mind if he stays and runs downstairs. Sam chases after her, banging on a locked door, apologizing and admitting she's right. But no one answers. He enters and finds Sarah's decomposed body. It turns out that Sarah had died from her injuries that very night, and all this time Sam had been suffering from hallucinations. Devastated, Sam buries Sarah and says his final goodbye. In her camera, he finds pictures of himself, proving that she had been watching him for a long time before making the jump to his building. Completely broken, Sam sets fire to his cherished cassette tapes. He releases Alfred from the elevator. To his surprise, the infected doesn't attack him. After all these weeks, they've bonded. The smoke from the burning tapes triggers a loud fire alarm. The hungry zombies outside go berserk, breaking through the door and flooding into the building. Sam fights back, but the horde is overwhelming. He's forced to retreat into the elevator. Fortunately, he escapes through the elevator's roof and climbs into the elderly couple's apartment. After taking down another zombie, Sam makes his way into Fanny's smoke-filled apartment. Realizing the place is swarming with infected, he sneaks toward the exit and rushes to the roof. Using Sarah's climbing gear, he leaps to the neighboring building but hits his head and loses consciousness. When Sam comes to, he pulls himself onto the roof and hears the clinking of metal. With hope in his eyes, he scans the neighboring buildings, trying to spot other survivors. What did you think of The Night Eats the World? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.